Niamh had ridden out of Lyria in early spring, her retinue modest, as none larger was needed for the brief summit of sovereigns. She returned now to her capital, at the head of an army that dragged behind it bandits and Nilfgaardian prisoners in chains. The whole city came out to greet her. Its traders, craftsfolk, priests. Also, her eldest son and heir, Prince Willem. A boy who, it seemed, might never be prepared to rule. Niamh and Willem rode side by side past the cheering throngs, their faces frozen in regal smiles. It was not until they reached the castle stables that they found a corner in which to speak freely, candidly.
Welcome home, Mother. Content I am to see you, to be sure.
And I'm happy to see you. Though I dare say I'd have been much happier to witness you leading an army towards Dravigrad. Willem, I trusted you. Left the realm in your care.
Indeed. And I, in turn, did my utmost to choose the best course for...
Willem, don't be so damned courtly. There's no one else here. My son. Nilfgaard has invaded our home. We're at war. When rulers don't strive and don't choose, when rulers grab their swords and shields and ride out to defend their subjects.
You didn't let me finish.
All right. Say what you wanted to, please.
I feared I'd be hasty, Mother, and I didn't want to be. When we got word of the invasion, the lords convened at the castle. They demanded I hear them out. They wanted to give me counsel. If I'd rushed into the field to confront the foe, I'd have been half blind to the situation, not known all the options I had at my disposal.
A ruler never knows all the options. Yet he must decide and act nonetheless. I need to prepare. I'll see you at the Council of Peers.
And indeed she did, when the peers convened in the throne room. Surrounded by animal hides and Zerrikanian tapestries, the lords stood in tense silence, awaiting the queen. When her figure filled the doorway, they fawningly prostrated themselves.
We've myriad matters to resolve, so I trust you're well rested. Whatever the case, I've no doubt we shall meet the dawn afore we're done. Firstly, we must ask assistance. Pen a letter to King Demavend. Scribe, take this down. Dear... What? Uncle? Cousin? Blast. Again. I, Niamh, by the gods' grace, sovereign of Rivia and...
Your Grace. Mother. The peers and I, we've come to propose another solution.
Yes? Out with it.
We wish to acknowledge Nilfgaard's authority, pledge fealty to the Emperor.
I beg your pardon.
The black-clad hordes outnumber our forces manyfold, and they're far better equipped. We stand not the slightest chance against them in open...
You will not lecture me about Nilfgaard's army, my son. All you know of them you garnered from coloured renderings, whereas I faced them at Dravigrad. I faced them and crushed them.
But your grace, the losses. For this fleeting victory in which you delight, how many of your subjects had to perish? Bend a knee afore the Emperor, and you shall spare thousands.
Nay, never! Understood, Caldwell? Not ever!
I'd hoped to persuade you, but it seems I've failed. Nonetheless, the die's been cast. We've signed the accord with Nilfgaard. Our noble lords stand with me.
The blood left Niamh's face. She had realized her son, who had ever professed to detest politics and shirked his duties as crown prince, had just stabbed her in the back, as had her entire court.
What is this? Treason to my eyes! The gallows is what awaits you!
Willem rules Lyria now, and should you not acquiesce and approve the accord, I fear only you, milady, shall have the pleasure to meet the hangman.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Caldwell. My mother will not be harmed. Not one hair on her head. Understood? Confine the Queen to the tower.
You err deeply, my son.
The queen was confined to a cell. Gilded armor she had traded for a simple robe. a courtly retinue for a swarm of rats. She was the very picture of misery. At the window of her cell, gripping the bars, Meve stood powerless, her anger so great she wept and wailed. Her Lyria was free no more.
Have I come at a bad time?
Demons take you, Caldwell. You've long been at this scheme, haven't you? You left the strays of Sparla to roam the realm, to forage, so that I would have to look to them. And thus gained your cohorts the time they needed to complete Lyria's sail to Nilfgaard.
You've seen through it all, that's clear. After the fact, of course. But still, I'm not nearly the poor strategist you thought me.
Willem, you turned him. How?
The boy's not fit to wear the crown. Hasn't sufficient wit nor valor. I know this. You know this. Just, he knows it not. Willem fancied himself a statesman, wished terribly to prove he was one. I made it possible. I've been amply rewarded, I have. Palatine since just yesterday, in fact.
You'll have neither my blessing nor congratulations. Sorry to disappoint you.
I seek neither. I've come for another reason. To bid you adieu. Willem does not seek your death. Does not even fathom it, as you well know. Moreover, his resolve will wilt in time, and he'll wish to free you. So, come the morn, when the young king rides out to pledge fealty afore General Epdahi, you shall use your bed linens to hang yourself.
I see. You wish to see me bow afore you, lie prostrate, beg you for mercy, plough yourself with a pike, Caldwell. And you needn't send your thugs. I'll not falter nor hesitate. I'll take my own life.
Adieu, your grace, and use your last evening wisely.
Meve felt a rush of despair, yet bit her lip to mute any weeping. No, she would not give Caldwell the satisfaction. Morning arrived with the sound of footsteps in the corridor. Meve rose from her cot and stood in the center of her cell. She was prepared for anything. Well, nearly anything.
The Duke of Dogs.
Titles seem senseless under the circumstances, don't you think? Let's forgo them. I'm Gascon.
Has Caldwell sent you? To kill me?
A no and a no. Actually, you're free. How shall I put this? That cad, Count Caldwell, used yours truly and the strays as bait in a scheme aimed at kicking your shapely backside off your throne. Now, I'm hardly vindictive. First to forgive, in fact. Take your threat to send me to the gallows. Forgotten already. Yet being played for a fool, I cannot abide. So when the strays freed me, I knew what I'd do to spite the Count afore I disappeared. I'd free you. That's to say, on one condition. You've got to request it of me, my lady. Courteously.
For my realm I will do this, and much, much more. Even bow afore a brigand. Thus I beg you, Gascon, Duke of Dogs, grant me my freedom.
Ha! Incredible! I've lived to see someone grovel with dignity. The true ruler you've got to be. You are free.
And grateful. Now please let me pass. I must get to the city jail at once.
Would you look at this woman? Free her from one prison, she flies off to the next.
They hold Reynard there. And if I've any ally left, anyone who's not betrayed me, it's him. I must get him out.
Hold, my lady. Unarmed, alone.
Have I any other option?
In a sense. See, they locked a few strays in the city pits too. Got a common cause, I'd say. Care to join forces?
The Queen took Gascon up on his offer. Then she, Gascon, and the Strays snuck through the city to its dungeon. Reynard had not wavered for a moment in his devotion to the Queen. Never the slouch, he had also not lost any time.
I've inquired among the other arrested soldiers. Many are prepared to fight, even die at your side, Your Grace.
Seems they may yet get their chance. But now we must flee. All of us.
Yet in leaving the jail, the company ran into trouble. When Caldwell's cutthroats had failed to find Meve in her cell waiting for her secret execution, they had informed the Count. He, in turn, dispatched patrols into the streets. The Queen and her cohorts ran into one such unit.
Blast. We shan't outrun them. To arms! Gascon? Bloody hell, where'd he get to?
Your Grace, we must make haste. Caldwell's roused the whole city by now.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. Sod it. Sod it all. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
We war, you dirty tart.
Didn't think I'd... Did you?
Honestly, I did.
Again and again and again.
This could hurt. Back to the dust whence you came!
I'm a monster.
Your Grace, what guarantee do we have that they won't stab us in the back?
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
This. Pussy traitors.
Thing about slings, they hide well. Hey?
Left, right, left, right.
Should have listened to me, old lady. One bullet's all I need.
Yes?
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Sod it. Sod it all.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Gascon? Bloody hell, where'd he get to?
Your Grace, we must make haste. Caldwell's roused.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Don't like this.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
soldiers.
Aye.
Didn't think I'd leave you just like that, did you?
Honestly, I did.
Sod it. Sod it all.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Your Grace, what guarantee do we have that they won't stab us in the back?
This could hurt.
Naturally. At once.
Favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Left, right, left, right.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
One bolt I need.
Again and again and again.
As you wish, my lady.
Should have listened to me old lady.
I thank you, Gascon. You and your men, for your aid.
'Tis nought, my lady. Strays never say no to a proper brawl.
No brawl this was. Sun rising against Mother. Lyrian striking at Lyrian. I fear a blood war's begun.
Come now. Seems to me the war's ended. Your realm's lost to Nilfgaard. You've no army to speak of.
Then I shall assemble a new one. And with it have Caldwell hanged, and drive Nilfgaard back across the Yaruga.
You're mad. How will you find the men? Riding from hamlet to hamlet, speaking from atop a crate?
No. I shall find them in Edirn. I've a favour to call in with King Demavend, and I'll sway volunteers to my cause on the way.
Well, you've your first willing warriors already.
How so?
We've nothing left in Lyria. Our hideouts are compromised, Caldwell's sure to set a price on our heads, and Nilfgaardians roam the land in numbers. Besides, I'll be right tickled to see proud Queen Maeve fighting elbow to elbow with a bandit she'd wish to hang just a half day afore.
Well, it is said my foe's foe is my friend. And I'd be a fool to turn down assistance now, no matter who offers. So be it.
Very high-minded of you, milady. So, shall we shake on't? Nay? Well then, the high road beckons. Though first we must escape the city with our lives.
Lyria was hers no more. Maeve now had to flee her capital and realm as quickly as she could. Wont to travel the city streets in a gilded carriage, the Queen now saw them from a slightly different vantage point.
Ugh. Is this the only way? Are you quite certain? The Queen
is a common fugitive now, so she'd do better to pinch her nose and whinge not at all.
At long last, Maeve reached the gate. Yet this she found shut tight, locked and guarded.
Gods be damned!
Easy, your grace. Nothing we can't solve with a quiver full of quarrels.
Those are our men.
They were, Reynard, were.
Gascon's raiders were poised to loose their bolts, but were thwarted when the Queen stepped out in front of them.
What's she... Your Majesty? I've orders to arrest your grace.
Place me in irons, then.
Please understand, I haven't a choice.
Fear not. You'll be rewarded by Caldwell in Nilfgaardian Florens.
The captain's head dropped. His cheeks burned crimson.
Go, your grace. Flee now, but only to return.
Remember this, Gascon. I'm no fugitive. I'm a queen, robbed of her rightful crown. And though I may need to venture to the world's end before I return, I shall have it back.
Having fled Lyria, Queen Maeve ventured into Edirn, her old friend Reynard and new ally Gascon at her side. The war had bitten into this land too. Still, Maeve hoped to sway King Demavend to her cause, and with his aid, to oust the traitors, retake her throne, and drive the Nilfgaardian invader from her realm. Yet to start, she was forced to fight, Scoia'tael no less. Emerging from a wood, Maeve's retinue encountered a unit of elven rebels just moments from hanging a handful of prisoners. Among the latter, the Queen spotted a woman, a proud warrior with a striking, thick black braid.
The lass I believe I know.
Well, unless we rush to her rescue, it'll soon be you knew her.
Well said. Lyrians, attack!
the butcher! Valoa!
Nay, Dwan came.
She can't breathe, Your Grace. We must rush to her aid.
Hey?
Ours is not to reason why.
Hey, Admiral and ship.
Free the warrior!
You mad? Don't shake that!
None shall tread on us!
The elves! Scatter them! They block our path!
Cork it.
We're too late.
Hang the butcher! Valoa!
She can't breathe, Your Grace. We must rush to her aid.
No time for that!
Nay, Dwan camest.
Go, hop, hop! Go! Blastana!
Free the warrior!
I smell a leak.
Scatter them! They block our path!
Too late.
Butcher! Valoa!
She can't breathe, Your Grace. We must rush to her aid.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Ha!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Admiral and ship.
Free the warrior!
The chase is on!
None shall tread on us!
The elves! Scatter them! They block our path!
Shh! Cork it! Now we will see who is weak!
Greetings. What is it?
Bigger they are, easier they are to target. Thing about slings, they hide well. Hey?
The Scoia'tael warriors shocked the Queen with their speed, their cunning, and their cruelty. Yet in the end, the Lyrians prevailed. When the last elf hit the ground, the Queen had her men untie those they'd sought to hang.
1,000 thanks, Your Grace. Heard many tales of your valor. Pleased to see there weren't just flattery and propaganda.
Black Rayla. Hagar, we saw you there. You command King Demoven's special forces.
That's right. Though not many remain to command.
So I see. How did it come to this?
My liege sent me to wipe out a Scoia'tael band, led by a rat called Eldane. Followed the vermin's tracks for several days, straight into his trap, turned out.
Hunting elves in the woods. Truly inspired, I must say.
Had no choice. Doing nothing would have brought us surer, swifter doom. The Black Clad have invaded Edirn, thanks to elven aid. They snap our supply lines, lurk like dogs, prey on vulnerable units and scouts.
You mean to say Nilfgaard's broken your defenses?
Aye. Though their march will soon halt, believe me. To advance, they'll have to take Rosberg.
Rayla, the black swarm I have beheld. Endless lines of infantrymen, countless riders, war machines capable of crushing the hardest stone to gravel.
Your meaning, my lady?
That we must prepare for the worst.
I'll convey your grace's words to the king at the first occasion.
I'd rather hope to convey them myself. I have come to Edirn seeking aid. I wish to ask Demavend for support.
The king is in Rosberg, overseeing siege preparations. I'm heading that way too to report on our skirmish with the Scoia'tael. I might serve as your guide. These lands I know better than any.
Excellent. Guide on. gods. The entire country up in flames.
Ebdahi warned punishment awaited Edirn, that he would show the land no mercy.
What in God's names did you do to him, Rayla?
Nilfgaard offered us an alliance against the rest of the north, but Demoven declined, in his clipped soldier's speech. They say Ebdahi flew into a rage and swore he'd reduce Edirn to rubble.
Have you seen Nimoy? Was bound here from Iconfar. Supposed to have arrived 3 days past.
The Lyrians arrived at an ancient, half-desiccated beach. Its trunk sat atop a tangle of thick roots, and scraps of paper covered with tiny scribblings fluttered over it from top to bottom. Travelers crowded all around. Barefoot refugees, bony pilgrims, peddlers with armored escorts, and shifty-eyed men with the haggard look of deserters.
The Wayfarer's Beach,
Rayla said.
Travelers of all sorts swap tales here. Perhaps we can glean something about our enemy's movements.
Or paint the enemy a clear picture of our own.
Gascon interrupted.
Nilfgaardian spies no doubt flock to this tree like flies to particularly pungent dung.
Meve decided to proceed cautiously. She pitched camp in a nearby clearing and sent a scout dressed as a peddler to investigate the Wayfarer's Beach. Yet long hours passed with no sign of the soldier.
Gods be damned!
The Queen snarled.
Reynard, send some men to follow his tracks.
The Lyrians found the scout's body in the woods a few leagues from the Wayfarer's Beach. His corpse revealed clear signs of drawn-out, cruel torture. Meve could only hope he had managed to hold something back from his captors.
You'd fucking cripple a trading with the Scoia'tael by day for all to see.
Yes, Your Grace?
I cannot forgive myself one thing, that I failed to see through Caldwell's schemes. He must have plotted treason for months, years even, yet I suspected nothing.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Your Grace.
Easily said. Ugh, if I'd only realized it in time.
Nilfgaard would have found a different traitor, or sent an assassin north. It was unavoidable what happened. The Blackclads would have attacked in any case, and we'd have stood no chance to defeat the foe in open battle, repel him, drive him out.
So, had you been there when the peers assembled, you also would have voted to bend the knee?
No. My honor would never have allowed it. I'd have thrown myself into the fire, and probably died a fool for it. As matters stand, I still have a chance to thwart the invader, his intentions. It seems, in a twisted turn of fate, I should be grateful to Caldwell.
How has it come to this? I, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia, must prowl about the underbrush like a common bandit. And you, General Reynard Odo, once proud commander of 4 elite regiments of footmen, now lead a gang of deserters, bandits, and scythe-wielding peasants.
I do so proudly, Your Grace.
You must be joking, Reynard.
Your Majesty, under your husband I served 10 years, under you another 8. And never in that time did I fight for a more worthy cause. We seek not to grab land, or stifle a peasant revolt. We fight for all the North, for our freedom, that of others, and you alone didn't give up. Didn't even consider bending the knee before Nilfgaard.
Yes, all true. Yet look where it's brought me.
Your struggle has but begun, Your Grace, and I will do all in my power to see you triumph in the end.
It's time I attended to other matters. So, Gascon, the soldier's life, does it suit you?
About the same as the bandit's life did.
I beg your pardon?
The tents are cold, the food's shite. On the plus side, plenty to drink, most days. A skirmish here, a scuffle there. Nilfgaardians one day, elves the next, and whoever we rout, we rob of what they've got.
Requisition, you mean? Fully in accordance with the laws of war.
Oh, please. Save your excuses for your father confessor.
The Duke of Dogs. Whence the name?
Not certain I should tell you. It's a personal story, somewhat.
I insist.
So, thing is, I'm a werewolf of sorts.
Did I hear werewolf?
Of sorts. You see, when the full moon glows in the night sky, I transform into a creature that's half man, half dachshund. And then all the other hounds of the night hearken to my command.
Oh, forget I asked.
With pleasure.
I can't stop wondering. How did your strays break into the tower in Lyria?
They exploited its chief weakness.
What weakness is that? I oversaw its construction myself. Walls 5 feet thick, bars and grates of the sturdiest iron.
All tremendous, I'm sure. But how much do you pay the guards?
What? I don't know. The garrison's commander is in charge of that.
Let me tell you then. Not much, Meve. Not much at all. From atop a throne, it's hard to spot the little things. Example, a guard hard up for coin, or one with ambitions. But seeing that's second nature to even the most ordinary bandit. Take any castle door. To open it, to open all, one needs but a pouch of gold.
It's time I attended to other matters. Farewell. How fare you, Rayla? The quartermaster, did he assign you a tent?
He tried.
Oh, and?
I refused it. Best to sleep beneath the stars, little chance of a foe catching you off guard.
Rain accepted, perhaps?
I'm not made of sugar, ma'am. I'm not gonna melt.
One sees very few women in the ranks, let alone in the special forces. How did you come to join?
On merit. Proved I'd be of use.
Yes, well, naturally. But how exactly?
I was 15 when I went to enlist. But the sergeant in charge of signing folk up told me to scurry on home. So I proposed a wager, arm wrestling. If I won, he'd let me join. If I lost, I'd pay him 100 crowns.
And that kind of coin? You had it?
No, so I had to win. As we sat down at the table across from each other, he laughed and rolled up his sleeve. When it was over, all around us were laughing at him. Then I just followed orders. Did so well enough to draw the king's attention.
I must go. We'll speak later.
Worked in a mess once that served no meat, not even sausage. Weren't long before the men rioted.
Ravens are always trading armies. Ravens and beasts.
I'm coming, I'm coming. Go, hop, hop.
Quick and painful this'll be.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Us or them. No other way.
Catch!
The chase is on!
You'll never take me alive!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
One bullet's all I need. Give me a time.
We must trust each other.
I smell a leak.
Soon after entering Edirn, Meve ordered a halt. She wished to sit with Black Rayla and plan their onward march, for Rayla knew every path in the realm, including ones not drawn on any map. They were hard at work when shouts rang out among the tents.
One final time I shall say it. As your senior officer, I order you to depart the training grounds, or...
Or what, pray tell? You'll have me drop and give you 50?
What is the meaning of this?
Your Grace, I had thought to use this interval to drill the recruits, teach them...
To walk.
To maneuver, Gascon. A world of difference. In perfect harmony must soldiers traverse the field of battle. Otherwise, they could break formation. The enemy would penetrate our lines, and our army could be slaughtered.
And therein lies the rub, dear Reynard. Army. This is no army, but a band of partisans. If we do not adapt to the rules of desperation, if we adhere instead to the Academy Codex, we shall lose. Laying traps, wiping tracks, that's what we should teach the lads. Not marching to the beat.
All my eye. A fighting force must have discipline. Otherwise, tactics and planning are impossible. A soldier must obey orders.
A point on which we all agree. And since they are mine to give, I order you both to calm yourselves at once, and never air your squabbles in front of the men again. Our resources are limited. We cannot do everything at once. Prepare your proposed plans for training the recruits, and I shall decide which we shall follow. Clear? Then get to work.
Yet the fields are nothing but ash. Did our oats not suit the Emperor? However did our oats and other plantings harm him?
It's gonna be a right good levy, big and beautiful. Stop your yapping and start digging.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs. Don't you worry yourself, your grace. We'll get her done in no time.
Stop your yapping and start digging.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs.
Pissing in the moat? Oh, dead. It's gonna be a right good levy, big and beautiful. Stop your yapping and start digging.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs.
Your Grace.
Meave heard Reynard call out from behind her.
A scout's returned. Claims to bear an urgent message.
Indeed. An opportunity we cannot ignore.
The Queen said.
Your unit will block their path. Gascon and his men will hide in the woods and strike their flanks, while I shut the trap, attacking from behind.
Their plan established, Meave gave the signal to move out. A brief moment later, the fight began.
We must drive them into the ambush! Follow me!
Life is mine now. For Rivia!
close, Your Grace.
Sure took your time. Thought you'd forgotten about me.
Now!
Wise choice.
Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
I smell a leak.
Our ballista, your command.
No time for that!
Off to the front yet again.
I'll fight to my last breath.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
armor was.
The caravan is ours, milady.
Their plan ended in success, the Nilfgaardians crushed. As soon as the dust had settled, Niamh tore the canvas off the nearby wagons to see what precious loot they had so carefully guarded. She expected to find gold, jewels, or exquisite silks. Instead, she saw dirty, terrified figures bound in chains.
Slaves,
Reynard muttered.
Their precious cargo. Slaves. Behold the glorious future the Empire brings us.
Niamh ordered the prisoners freed and discovered they were Edirnian peasants on their way to dig canals and dredge swamps as forced laborers.
You are free. You can return to your homes,
The Queen said. If she expected words of thanks and gratitude, she was in for a disappointment.
What homes, milady?
Asked one of the peasants, holding back tears.
Took our land, they did. Nothing we have now. Not a rag to wear, not a crumb to eat. Leave us, we die. Soldiers don't do us in, monsters will. Assuming hunger and cold don't get us first.
The Queen was about to answer when she heard Gascon, standing behind her, whisper,
Before you make any rash promises, please, some maths. Dozens of hungry mouths to feed, and weak bodies to defend, twice as many tired legs to wait for, while war rages all around. You do realize you cannot save everyone.
As you see, my numbers are few.
The Queen began. Hearing her tone, the former slaves knew all hope was lost. Seeing the despair on their faces, Niamh's voice wavered for a moment.
And our coffers are bare. I am sorry. We cannot help you.
Niamh left food for the peasants freed from the Nilfgaardian wagons. She estimated it would last them 3 or 4 days. After that, they would be a problem that was not the Queen of Lyria's to solve.